Well, the seed makers got it right. It is number 1 versus number 2 vying for the Ford Boys Volleyball Division IV Southern Section Championship and the right to host a trophy here. We are in Huntington Beach, California. Brian Fenley with you alongside our producer Stephen Morales here for a battle with the crowd. Going to be livid and very energetic in this matchup. It's one that pits Valley Christian as the 2 seed as they go up against the top seed in this tournament in Marina High School as they are host to this match. Ryan Parker is the head coach for Marina High School in his 4th season on staff. Number 1 season, though, as the head coach, and he has led his program to the playoffs for the first time in this program's history since 2002. And on the other side, the head coach for Valley Christian is Jason Kwok. And his squad is 16-0 on the season, undefeated 12-0 in the regular season, and they have powered on into the finals here with 4 straight W's. As far as Marina is concerned, they are 9-5. They come in with a 4-match winning streak. And with that, we take a look at who are the starters on either squad. Let's start with the home squad, the 1 seed, the top-ranked squad in Landon Vandermeulen, who is the libero number 3. 8, Evan Clausen, the sophomore middle blocker, number 9. Tyler Verhoof, I should say, the sophomore middle blocker. And it's Alex Guastella, the junior opposite, number 10. 13, Bryce Jones, the senior setter. 14, Cole Oliver, the junior outside hitter, and Micah Sybesma, the junior outside hitter, number 16. And for the Marina, the Marina High School squad, you've got Daniel Purtell, number 10, 8, Brock Coward, 5, Dylan Wynn, Aiden Patterson, number 18, Joe Nunez, number 20, Chris Whitener, the middle blocker, number 22, Jackson Phillips, number 25.
Outside hitter, 6'3", junior number 3, Luis Avino III.
They make their names known, the starters.
5'7", junior number 14, Antoine Wynn. At libero, 5'7",
the Marina Vikings.
16, Vincent Day. At outside hitter,
Out of the Wave Conference.
17, Kaden Rodriguez.
And the Vikings started the season 5-5 and have found their way in this postseason tournament. We'll talk endlessly about their background, how they got to this position into the tourney. And for Valley Christian, 16-0, an unblemished mark. Had a chance to talk with both head coaches coming into this matchup, so we will have a lot to discuss as far as giving you all the lowdowns on either squad going into this match. Lori Schwartz will be our first referee, and R2 will be Harvey Rodriguez. So they will be the ones overseeing this match. Again, it's the Ford Boys Volleyball Division IV Southern Section Championship here with you in Huntington Beach, California at Marina High School. Brian Fenley with you. These squads did not meet in the regular season. And talking to Jason Kwok, the head coach for Valley Christian, he discussed that his squad has so many youngsters on his team that for him, he doesn't want to get too descriptive as far as technical with what he wants to see out of his squad out there, just to keep to the fundamentals, he said, just serving and passing and seeing how far they can battle with this top-ranked team in Marina. And you might look at their record and say, how are they number 1 seeded in this tournament at a 9-5 record? Well, they have really built up a challenging non-conference schedule, which we'll discuss. And their home crowd certainly going to be energetic, along with the Valley Christian faithful who have shown up in big numbers here. Some Hunts Huntington Beach, California. Excited to bring this one. It's the Vikings, the home squad. Nearly a packed house here.
The officials selected for the championship games
a lot on the line here, certainly.
various chapters of the Southern California Volleyball Officials Association. They are neutral and have been selected based on
Ryan Parker will discuss his background as well. He is the head coach for the Vikings. Had a very interesting route to becoming a coach in volleyball. And initially was a standout basketball player in high school, and has made the transition to volleyball, doing a very good job at that. So has Ryan Kwok, head coach for Valley Christian, who was also on the staff for Long Beach City College as an assistant there, and is a director of Long Beach's preeminent boys volleyball club. So he has his fingerprints on a lot of volleyball in the Long Beach area, trying to pilot his two-seeded squad in Valley Christian to the win on the road here at the home of the boys Division IV Forward Southern Section Championship here, alongside my producer and Stephen Morales. I'm Brian Fenley. As they get the lineups all set, Harvey Rodriguez, our two referee, making sure everybody's in their rightful places. And again, if you're just joining us, Larry Schwartz is our first referee. Harvey Rodriguez is our down official. And serving away to begin this initial set is Alex Costella, the junior opposite. Now, it's going to be best of 5 sets. First 4 sets will go to 25, win by 2, rally scoring. If necessary for that 5th set, they will play to 15, win by 2. Valley Christian, once play begins, they're sorting out all the lineups and the rotations here. It will be Alex Guastella serving away. We mentioned the junior opposite. Talking to head coach for Valley Christian, and Jason Kwok, said a lot of guys just picked up boys volleyball this spring. They started up in early February, and we are underway in an ace out of the gate here for Guastella. What a start for Valley Christian. They came off a win in 5 sets in the semifinals against Laguna Hills. And we'll get into what they had to do to get into this championship match. But Guastella back at the line. It's sent way up in the air and out of system here. And it's going to be a free ball sent over towards the Valley Christian way. And now some chaos on the Valley Christian side as a last-ditch effort there leads to a hitting error that went wide of the mark as Evan Clausen took the attempt, and we are all square at 1. So the first chance here for the Vikings from the service line, and it is the setter in Wynn. He gets a good one off the fingertips of the block. That one is going down for a put-away. Micah Seabisma with the put away. So number 16, Seabisma, will now trot back to the service line, number 16. First round of the playoffs, it was a win against Gar, and then the second round for Valley Christian, they beat Hillcrest. They've only dropped 2 sets this whole tournament. That is Phillips into the middle. And Phillips is able to record the kill and even things up at 2. As far as the quarterfinals are concerned, Valley Christian beating Santiago in 3 sets. So the only sets they have dropped in Valley Christian came in the semifinals when they went a 5-setter. And there is a miss hit by Cole Oliver, number 14. That is his first attack attempt as he goes from the left pin. 3-2 lead in this initial frame for the home team. The serve goes off the tape, and there was a back row attack, and the big block there. Daniel Pertel with the rejection there, anticipating that shot from the backcourt as Seabisma had his attempt stymied. A 4-2 lead for the home squad. And there was Cole Oliver with a cross-court kill going inside the block there. Great range to cut it to within one. And a chance now, the first back from the service line for Evan Clausen as he will send over the float serve. Mishandled the first contact by Patterson. Here goes Purtell. Sabizma got the first touch on the Valley Christian side, and then a free ball sent over. The back set hammered from the right side, and it's just a stray. There was no touch there as Brock Coward misfires with that attack as he was approaching that right pin area. So a little mini spurt for Valley Christian to even things up at 4 in this first set. And that one dealt right into the net by Clausen, the sophomore middle blocker, and he will make his way back to the bench. The libero and Landon Vandermeulen in that white jersey for the Maroon squad is in right now. Sabizma with the first contact, he takes the shot. And there goes Purtell. Great get by Vandermeulen, sprawling out for it, but no attack from the Valley Christian side. Win, a back set, and Brock Coward makes up for that recent hitting error as he registers the kill and puts his team back in front 6-4 in this first frame. Best of 5 sets if you're just joining us. First 4 sets will go to 25 rally scoring. Got to win by 2 if necessary. That 5th set goes to 15, win by 2. Purtell with the off-speeder. Cole Oliver right over it. And there was a tight ball that's sent back over on the Valley Christian side. And now the libero in Vandermeulen plays the ball over. What a good get. We play on here. Wynn will now work it to the outside. And Purtell takes a shot right at Sabizma, who got a touch on it, but nothing more, as it's a 7-4 lead for the home squad here, and it is their largest advantage of this first set, 7 serving 4. Jones outside to Oliver. He is pleading for a touch. He gets one. Larry Schwartz, our first referee, says there was one, and that was confirmed by Harvey Rodriguez, the down official. So that will remove the Vikings off the service line. Valley Christian is back at it from the line, and Bryce Jones with a short-lived stint from beyond the baseline as that one is short-armed into the net. Vincent Dang, number 16, in for serving purposes. The back set to Oliver, and that block was right there waiting for him. Purtell and Whitener collaborating on the rejection, and that is going to get the oohs and ahs from the home fans as they are liking what they are seeing, the largest lead of this first set. And there is an out-of-rotation citation that is called on Valley Christian, and so it's going to be a 10-5 lead. And we were talking to Jason Kwok, the head coach for Valley Christian, and he said, look, a lot of these guys, this is their first year playing varsity volleyball, so mistakes like being out of rotation can find themselves prevalent in matches of this magnitude, of this intensity. He said we can't get too complex about what we're trying to ask from our guys out there. We just have to tell them to stick to the fundamentals, play within themselves. Don't get too cute with what you're trying to do on the offensive end. And again, fundamentals there was the story. And so a 10-5 lead, that leads to a timeout. And it's the largest lead of this first set for the Vikings, who have not made it to the postseason since 2002. They are back at it here. And Dang will be back at it, number 16, following a timeout from the service line. Marina took down an undefeated Warren in 4 sets in the semifinals. That took place last Saturday. And Marina head coach Ryan Parker said after that one, it was just such a pride moment for his team, knowing what they've gone through and the lack of winning until this season. And Vincent Dang is going to compile on to that now growing, increasing lead for the Vikings. It's a 6-point edge, 11 serving 5. Now Dang will work the float serve right to Sabizma. Jones will set up the attack from Guastella as he is blocked back. The attack goes to Cole Oliver, rattled off the block. Purtell lining into one, laying into one, and he gets stuffed. The block was there, and that is going to be a point for the away squad. The 2 seed in this tournament, the 1 and the 2, vying for that Ford's Division IV Southern Section Trophy, which will be handed out at the conclusion of this match here from Huntington Beach, California. Inside set goes to Whitener. Great dig by Jones to keep the play going. And there was Purtell off of 1 foot. He is able to tool it off the block. Smartly done. As it's a 12-6 advantage here for Marina. Ryan Parker, the head coach, has to be liking what he is seeing. He's actually originally a basketball player, as that serve from one of his players goes long. He initially was going to play basketball at Biola, had committed there coming out of high school, and then got a taste of volleyball as a senior in high school and decided, you know what, I really like this volleyball thing. I'm going to try to pursue that. Got into coaching, and here he is as the varsity coach. And Patterson right there to make the play. 13 serving 7. We're going to see some changes coming out onto the court. Jackson Phillips is coming in along with Nathan Guerink, number 19, so 25 and 19. And Guerink will be the one taking the honors from the service line, working the float serve right to Vandermeulen. Not a great contact, and now that's going to be 4 contacts, or double contact, I should say. As that first touch off the serve receive was not exactly what you were looking for if you're Jason Kwok, the head coach of Valley Christian. Guerink. Still up. And ready to fire this one across. Sabizma with the first contact. The quick attack working, and that caught the Vikings off guard as they fed Evan Clausen with the middle attack, and he's able to detonate that ball with the quick set, 14-8. And now it's Guastella, the junior opposite, will make a return appearance to the service line, and the southpaw will go down the line. Win to Jackson Phillips. Quick set, put away, an easy finish for the big man, terminating quickly there. And a very commanding lead now for the Vikings, the home team. 15 serving 8. That is Wynn with the top spin serve. Jones dishes outside to Sabizma, and he thumps that one with authority, rising high from the outside to quickly put an end to that Vikings run. Sabizma will come back to the service line. Sabizma ripping the top spin serve. Now they go into the middle for Patterson. He gets blocked back. Now where do they go? The back set. A backcourt attack from Purtell. He is dug up, but now the free ball sent over. Let's see what the Vikings have in store. It is Brock Coward going high hands and registering the put away. 16-9. The Vikings continuing to impose their will on this first set. Patterson fresh off that put away from the line, but he's not going to be there long as he lets up on that one just a tad there to come away with the service there. As he focuses on the other side, it will be Evan Clausen lining up the serve. Now goes with the float variety. Win, and it's a standing hit for Brock Coward. Overfeed. Vikings can't capitalize. Here's Cole Oliver, off balance shot. Purtell to Sabizma. Now he will take the attack, but I believe there was a net violation. So Valley Christian will take the point because of the net violation. Vikings could not keep themselves out of the net with that forward momentum. 11 serving 16 in this initial set. Brian Fenley with you. Clausen with the float serve once again. The back set to Coward. He got a lot of the tape there as that one ricochets off the top of the tape and goes wide with no touch detected by Harvey Rodriguez, the down official. So the lead is shrinking here for the Vikings. 4-point edge has been as much as 7. Make it down to 3. Jones and Oliver were right there to contest that shot by the Vikings. Vikings not liking the way this thing is turning in Valley Christian's favor. They will call a timeout, 16-13 in this first set. A 7-point lead down to 3 for the Vikings, up 16-13 as we welcome you back to Huntington Beach, California. Brian Fenley with you. Evan Clausen is ready to let this serve fly when play resumes. The Pack Gymnasium here, enjoying the action, boys. Ford CIF Division IV Southern Section Championship. And Daniel Purtell rising high from the outside as he just rockets that attack successfully to the floor. Now look at Joe Nunez. They're going to work the attack from start to finish. Cole Oliver gets the first touch, finishes it off with the exclamation point on the outside. Great serve reception for Valley Christian, who comes into this match 16-0 on the season. Now you might look on the Marina side and say, well, they're 9-5. How did they deserve the 1 seed? We'll get into that in just a minute. That is Wynn with the pass and the delivery to Purtell. Off the net, doesn't matter. He's able to finish. The 5 losses for Marina this season have come from teams in higher divisions. 2 of them from Huntington Beach. They are in Division II. Corona Del Mar, which had been playing for the Division I title. And then you have Division I playoff teams Newport Harbor and Los Alamitos. So you're getting those losses coming against teams with bigger student enrollments in higher divisions. So the strength of schedule certainly favoring this Vikings team. This is staying with the serve. Sibisma with the finish. As he is able to contort his body and finish with the chains of pace shot. 19-15. First year to 25, win by 2 in this first set. Cole Oliver will let this one fly. High ball toss, ripping the float serve, the jump serve. That one hit the top of the ceiling we play on here. Oliver the roll shot, and a back row violation. He violated that 3-meter line, so it's going to be a point belonging to the Vikings, 20-15. Valley Christian will utilize their second timeout of this first set.
Fans, pick up your official CIF Southern Section 4 Championship souvenirs today at www.ciftshirts.com. Valley Sports West is the official home of the CIF Southern Section. Fans can now live stream CIF Southern Section events with the Valley Sports app and on valleysports.com. To those who fight and win battles every day on and off the playing field, show the Marines your fighting spirit and take what's inside to the next level. Find out more at www.marines.com.
Do you guys, the Valley Christian, what is their mascot?
Crusaders.
For some reason, it changed for the Crusaders.
Oh, so it's the Crusaders now.
Yeah, that's what I've always.
Okay. It's one of the. Yep. Back at it here. First set, Brian Fenley with you. 20-17. Marina is in front. They are the host squad for this Division IV championship match in Southern Section as we play on here. This is Cole Oliver letting it rip from the back row, and that was a great play call as the Valley Christian faithful who have shown up in droves here on the near side of the stands in this gymnasium. Raucous and rooting on their squad. Played off the tape. This is Aiden Patterson. A filthy finish. 21-16. Patterson had a team-high 12 kills in the quarterfinal win in the postseason. And that came against Pacific Christian. You might remember Pacific Christian had a couple injuries to some of their key hitters in Buzz Hodson with a torn quad and Mac McPherson dealing with a sprained ankle. Seabisma able to levitate in the air, work it off the block, and get the kill to cut the deficit to 4. Costella will now rotate back to the service line. Larry Schwartz, our first referee, says serve away, and it is right into the net, beams it right into the net. It's a ding will come out, and Wynn will serve here. Dylan Wynn, number 5, just a freshman. So far has been dazzling, had over 50 assists in a playoff match. And as I praise him, he sends that one just a tad long, overworks it. It's the Valley Christian defenders back at the service line. And Seabisma, Micah Seabisma, who in his first varsity basketball game registered a dunk, and it was via an alley-oop. How about that for your first game as a varsity basketball player? That one hit the top of the ceiling and confusing the defenders there as they were trying to track down the ball, and it's going to benefit the Vikings here as they need 2 more points to scrape together a first set victory. Outside this Cole Oliver, he just muscles it through. That big block from Michael Torres and Jackson Phillips. Michael Torres is in number 2 coming off the bench for the Vikings. 19 serving 23. Torres with the shot. And now Oliver slicing it. Definitely away from that block. You talk about the range there. Exquisite shot making from Cole Oliver. Not to be confused with a Cole Oliver who represented Australia for FIBA in the beach volleyball circuit. And Evan Clausen delivers an ace. Things are tightening up here in this frenetic first set, 23-21. And the Vikings will issue a timeout. A plush 7-point lead for the Vikings has withered to 2. It is 21 serving 23. Valley Christian making a valiant comeback in the latter stretches of this first set. Brian Fenley with you. Southern Section Ford Division IV Southern Section Championship. As we mentioned, Portell misfiring in sort of an awkward approach there. It's all tightening up once again. It's a 1-point score after that hitting error on the side of Marina. The float serve goes towards the Vikings. Purtell with some redemption there. The no doubt of that live, powerful arm swing. The righty hitting from the left side. And it is set point for the home team. As a lot of the fans are getting on their feet. Jones, the pass to Oliver, beaming it down the line for the score. That negates one set point on the Vikings end. And now it will be Jones, setter extraordinaire and senior, winding back from the service line. Still has another set point up against it here for the Vikings in their favor. Win, the dish to Purtell, it just misses wide. Trying to go with the tip shot. Good idea, not great execution. And now Valley Christian has taken away 2 set points, even things up at 24. You got to win by 2, first to 25. Obviously, we're going into extra time here. Purtell tries to wipe it off the block. It's turned back. There was Patterson with the shot. Misfires. A late run here for Valley Christian. And now they have their first set point. What a turn of events towards the end of this first set. And it's Jones lining up. High ball toss, rips it off the tape. Purtell with the reception and then the kill. He has not had his final say on this first set, as he evens things back up at 25 and erases a set point for the 2-seeded and 16-0 coming in defenders of Valley Christian. 25 all is our score. Vandermeulen the first contact. Outside to Oliver. Hammers it. Cross court with the deep kill. Second set point here for the defenders. And their fan base all standing up as we try to work our camera through the sea of fans. And that is going right into the net, leading Marina to a third set point. No, excuse me, I beg your pardon. It's back to a tie score, 26 all. Marina has had 2 set points that they have relinquished the opportunities on. We'll see if they can fight back here once again. Bisma off the block, somebody with a violation, and a center line violation at a critical juncture. Bisma crossed, impeded the center line. So here comes the third set point for the Vikings, served over by Purtell. Bisma has his shot dug up, and now two-handed over by the Vikings. Bisma loading up again, pulls it wide, and a couple opportunities missed out on by Valley Christian. The first set won in comeback fashion, 28-26 in favor of the Vikings in a hotly contested, down to the wire, back and forth tug-of-war match. We continue on into the second set right after this.
So just imagine, nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on.
Both teams congregating and coming out of the first set huddles as we move on to the second set. Brian Fenley here, and a 28-26 come from behind victory in the initial frame for the one-seeded Marina Vikings. Both squads had set points, both relinquished set points, and went into extra time. And it was just a determined, not giving up attitude on the Vikings that won out in set one. We will get our lineups all squared away here. Joe Nunez, number 20, he is the libero for the Vikings, and in the white jersey on the left side of the court there, number 3, the libero in Landon Vandermeulen. So Aiden Patterson will welcome us out of the intermission between the first and second sets to begin play in the second from the service line. And he just overstrikes the serve. Very close up against that baseline, but a little bit too much. He had 2 aces in that quarterfinal win and had 22 kills in the semifinals against Warren. Again, that was in the semifinals, a 4-set win for the Vikings. Jackson Phillips with the attack up the middle. He is turned back. Cole Oliver off 1 foot. And now the back set goes to Purtell, squares up, can't register the score as he pummels that one into the net. But that was a great set by Joe Nunez, who worked that pass behind his head and at least gave his teammate a chance. 2-0 start out of the gates here, and the libero in Vandermeulen misfires as he is not able to measure the confines of the court correctly there. A point, first point of set 2 for the Vikings. Nunez the serve. Jones delivers to Oliver and working it off that one-man block of Michael Torres, swiping it off the block. And a 3-1 lead for the defenders. Bryce Jones, the senior setter, also on the basketball team, has a long history of playing hoops. Serve to Nunez. Purtell. That will be a Viking point as he took dead aim for that multi-person block and tooled it off the block. Vincent Deng will come back in. He will have the offering. Floated away to Bisma. Jones behind his set. The attack right side for Cole Oliver. And that was a well-engineered sequence for the defenders. And their head coach in Jason Kwok, who is also on the coaching staff for Long Beach City College, played for Long Beach City College in the early 2000s. Cole Oliver rifles that serve, and that's going to be an ace for the defenders. Kwok is also the boys volleyball club director at Long Beach Volleyball Club. And as he said, coming into this match, there has to be, he used the word trust a lot among his teammates. Trust in what we're doing, trust in following my lead in order to try and pull off the upset. And so far, so good for his squad in the second set, rebounding nicely after what could have been a disheartening finish to the first set when they fell 28-26. Oliver lets loose on the serve taken by Patterson. Win the delivery to the outside for Purtell. Mishandled along the backcourt by Cole Oliver. Purtell has been one of those reliable scorers and pin attackers for Ryan Parker's team. Parker, the head coach, he is also going to school remotely at Grand Canyon University. Started out at Golden West and now is at Grand Canyon, able to coach with being a student at Grand Canyon thanks to the virtual option. Some discord on the defender side. They do mount an attack, and now two-handed over by the Vikings. The back row attack and scraping in the air for it. Ball right at the top of the tape, and Bisma with the dunk to finish off what was a very frenetic sequence. And you talk about a response for the Valley Christian defenders. 8 serving 3 here. Clausen with the serve. The cross-court set to Aiden Patterson, and he is going to chip away at that deficit, get his team back on the board. Joe Nunez, the libero, will come out, and Nathan Gehring, number 19, will enter. And will tee up the serve. Down the line to Bisma. Bisma will hit the set from Jones, working it off the block. Undermining that block goes Bisma. He has just been a force all match. Chris Whitener coming out, number 22, and the libero is back in Joe Nunez. Jackson Phillips with an awkward hit. It worked nonetheless. Not the most athletically pleasing of attacks, but number 25 in Jackson Phillips will take it. 4-point lead for the 2 seed, the visitors. Dylan Wynn will fire away. The ripped topspin serve is a dandy of an ace. 6 serving 9. Wynn, just a freshman, handles the duties of the center position for Ryan Parker's Vikings. Ripping another ace, consecutive aces for the freshman. When talking to Ryan Parker, the head coach for the Vikings before this match, he said, look, we can't be that team that is reliable on only attacking from the left side. We've got to develop more of that balanced offense, allow the defense to guess on the other end, not be, in his words, so pin specific. And we are watching a clinic from behind the baseline. Dylan Wynn, 3 straight aces, and he throws his hands in the air to energize the home crowd. An 8-9 come from behind here situation for the Vikings. They are within 1.
Let's hear it for Marina Cheer. They've had a busy week with lots of CIF games here in the gymnasium.
That's the voice to make.
A sequence of 3 straight aces for Dylan Wynn. That prompted a timeout for Valley Christian, only up by 1 now. As you hear the cheers echoing in the gymnasium here in Huntington Beach, California. Brian Fenley with you, 8 serving 9. Second set after the Vikings took hold of that first set, 28-26. They had 2 set points they relinquished, but on the third attempt they were able to capitalize and make it 4 aces in a row, wreaking havoc on that defender serve reception. And now it seems just more so mental for Valley Christian, as Wynn has been bombs away from the service line. This one finally tamed by Vandermeer and the libero. Bisma finally. They are able to get out of that rotation, which they needed to do so, as he scores up the line. And retaking the lead do the defenders, 10-9. Micah Bisma, the junior outside hitter, his turn to let it rip. And it's an ace, so an ace on the defender's end. as that one was close up against the sideline on the far end. 2-point lead for the 2 seed. And he follows up that ace with a service blunder. Patterson will let it fly here on the Vikings end. They have won 4 matches in a row, over on 1, so it will be Purtell who can't finish and take advantage of the overpass. 12-10 is the lead for the defenders, and there was an 18-day layoff for the Vikings coming into the postseason. They had a player test positive for COVID-19. And so they haven't played as many matches as a lot of other teams in their division. Jackson Phillips with the finish as he executes the kill and quickly comes back to the bench. Chris Whitener will check back in. And so the whole issue for the Vikings was, how are we going to have any sort of rhythm, any sort of camaraderie? That looked like a double hit, and that's a late call of it. But yeah, Larry Schwartz, our first referee, had detected it. So a lot of people on this squad for the Vikings, a lot of the guys decided if we're not going to be able to practice for 18 days, some of them were smart enough to find their club volleyball teams to at least get in some sort of work so that when they came back, they weren't completely rusty. And it appears like that layoff actually might have helped them, because they went from 5-5 now to 9-5 and have been really dialed in during the postseason. Down by 1 though in this second set. This is Jones, the senior, with the serve. A good serve at that. Great block by Valley Christian over on 2. Jones delivers to Cole Oliver. No touch detected as he hits that one too far. And we are all stalemated at 13. Vincent Dang coming in. We will see him attempt to put this one into play. Works the float serve that is pushed high into the air by Clausen. And now two-handed over to the Vikings end. And Purtell going hard with that right hand, taking aim at that double block and just out-muscling that double block, tooling it to put the Vikings back in front. 14, serving 13. Dang serves at Seabisma. Outside to Oliver. And you hear that thump of an arm swing from the right side. A no-doubter of a kill and a put-away for Cole Oliver, the junior outside hitter. Valley Christian coming into this match going in the semifinals 5 sets in a win against Laguna Hills. Seabisma had it taken by Nunez, went off the ceiling and played over free ball style. Tight passing around the net. A setter with the attack there by Wynn. Not Seabisma, off the ceiling again. The scrappy play by the Vikings keeps the play going. Back set, great dig in the back row. Outside, and a kill for Purtell, who has just been so lethal on the outside. That perimeter play has been clinical. And the Vikings once again retake the lead, 15-14 in this second set. Timeout called by the defenders. right, following the timeout by Jason Clark, the head coach for Valley Christian, the Vikings will be rearing back to serve, up 15-14, up a set in the Southern Section Division 4 championship, and that serve going into the net by Daniel Pertel, who has had a series of dazzling finishes and kills at the net, but lets one get away there. 15 all to score. Clausen with the float serve. Wynn delivers up the middle to Whitener. He is blocked back. And 4 contacts to call by our first referee in Larry Schwartz. Certainly a legend when it comes to volleyball officiating is Larry Schwartz. The lead goes back to the defenders. Wynn, the dish to Aiden Patterson, who clocks home a kill. And lining up from the left side. Nathan Gurink will come back in as he hustles back onto the floor and will have the duties of serving. 16 apiece in the second frame. Brian Fenley with you and our great crew helping out. Outside to Oliver. Wynn got a piece of it. Excuse me, that's Dang in the backcourt, but couldn't do much other than get a touch on it. That one was a rocket from the back row by Cole Oliver. Alex Guastella is going to be the one to tee up the serve. And we'll see where he locates the serve. Up the line to Patterson from start to finish, and he goes a little bit of the off-speed variety there to confuse and bewilder that defender's defense. Nice play there by Patterson. So once again, tied up in this second set, 17 apiece. Dylan Wynn, the freshman, had 55 assists in the semifinals win against Warren. Outside to Bisma, dug up by Nunez. Wynn, back row attack, put away by Daniel Pertel. You love the versatility of the setter in Wynn. Only a freshman has so much growth and already has done so much for this squad. 18 serving 17 as the Vikings nose back in front by 1 point. And that one going long by Wynn on his last stint at the service line. Was able to put together 4 aces in a row and not able to come up with any sort of success like that on this go-around. Back to a tie score in this second game. Micah Bisma will load up with the topspin float serve, topspin serve, I should say. And wow, there was an antenna that was hit, and it's going to give the point to the Vikings. So the point going to the Vikings after the ball did touch the antenna. So quick side out for the Vikings. Here is Patterson with the float serve. And Cole Oliver scaling high and is able to drive that one to the floor after the set by Bryce Jones. The defenders, they beat Gar High School in the first round, 3 sets, then swept Hillcrest in the second round, quarterfinals, won via sweep against Santiago. And then in the semifinals, as we had mentioned, they needed to go 5 sets to take down Laguna Hills. Joe Nunez with the spin serve, mishandled in serve receive, and the Vikings feasting at the net, cleaning up the garbage as they have a 2-point lead towards the latter parts of this second set. 21 serving 19. The float serve this time for Nunez. The jump pass to the outside. Whitener was there. A 2-man rejection. Also helping out was Michael Torres. Whitener and Torres collaborating with a vicious stop and shutting down that attack by the pin. 22 serving 19. And the Vikings gibbling right back to the defenders after the miss from the line by Nunez. Vikings have been doing a really stout job as far as the ball handling is concerned. This is Jones. Wynn goes to Purtell and just blasting it up the line. Daniel Purtell just having a fine match in a game with so much on the line. The Southern Section Division IV Ford's Championship here from Orange County and Huntington Beach, California. Jones will try to go to Oliver, and Oliver was able to astutely hit it off the block and tool it for the kill. And now Oliver has the honors from the service line. And a timeout called by Marina. Their lead slim to 2. We'll be right back after this. The defenders are going to be serving following the timeouts. It is 21 serving 23. Defenders are down a set. Best of 5 sets, as you know. Rowley scoring. Ryan Fenley with you here in a very boisterous and loud gymnasium in Huntington Beach, the home of the Marina Vikings. Purtell high in the air and able to boom it off the block of Sigismund Clausen to scooch the Vikings to a set point. And they've got a couple to play with here as their fan base now standing up in unison on the far side of your screen. 24 serving 21, and that ace, excuse me, not an ace. That ball went wide. 22 serving 24. Clausen, open-handed float serve, tracked down by Dang. Here is Patterson. Puts his left fist in the air to celebrate. He goes cross court for the kill to seal the second set, 25-22, and the Vikings are in prime position for a sweep. Can they pull it off? We'll find out when we return. the Valley Christian defenders up against it here, down 2 sets as we head into set number 3. Ryan Fenley with you, CIF Southern Section Forward Boys Volleyball Division IV Final from Marina High School. And they are the 1 seed. They are in front 2-0 against the 2-seeded defenders, who come in with an unblemished mark at 16-0, and that is in some serious jeopardy here as the 9-5 Vikings looking to bring home their first boys volleyball Southern Section title in school history, and 1 set away from making that happen. The defenders are going to be the ones serving first here, and it appears it will be Bryce Jones, the senior setter, also a basketball player for the defenders. They have only dropped, coming into this match, the defenders, 2 sets, and that's over 4 matches in the postseason, and so they have already dropped 2 sets in the championship match alone. And they're just getting the lineups and rotations all squared away. Harvey Rodriguez helping out with that. He is our down official. Larry Schwartz is up on the ladder presiding over the match. And Bryce Jones will look to put this one into play. The whistle has sounded, and we are ready to kick off this 3rd set. And not the optimal way to get things going there. A service mistake from the senior, and a point going right to the Vikings. And Dylan Wynn rotates back to the line. Had 4 aces in a run from the line in the 2nd set. Trying to replicate some of those heroics once again here with that nasty topspin serve. Out of system here, and now a chance for the Vikings. The back set from Nunez to Patterson with the cross-body attack. And now a free ball sent over to the Vikings. Wynn delivers to Patterson off the top of the tape. Scramble mode here for the defenders, and another free ball sent over to Marina Zen. A back row attack by Daniel Pertel. Gets a chunk of the tape, and then it filters onto the defender's side. So nice patience there for the Vikings to jump in front in this 3rd set, 2-0. And really the story has been the serving prowess of Wynn, who is just bringing it. Only a freshman, causing Jones to come off the court to try to make the play in the 2nd contact. And that's going to be ace number 5 for the freshman. And there really has not been any answer for Dylan Wynn. The only thing that has gotten in his way is a service error. But predominantly, it seems that anytime he gets it over the net, it's an ace for the most part. An overpass, and it is misjudged at the net. Mike Torres was right there, and it could not be executed. That was an easy opportunity squandered by the front attackers in the Vikings. As we welcome in Andrew Turner, who is checking out the action with us, covering the game. And Andrew, what do you think about this Marina team and the year they're having?
Well, I think what's especially cool to note is that Marina took a big break right at the end of the season. There was a positive COVID test in the program, and then they didn't play for a little bit more than 2 weeks before their first playoff game. And yet here they've gone pretty much unchallenged throughout the playoffs, and they're up 2-0 in the final.
Yeah, they're up 2-0 and up 4-2. I guess the one big bright spot for the visitors here is number 14 in Cole Oliver. What have you liked from him? He's certainly the guy that's keeping them in this thing.
Oliver has been absolutely fearless. He knows that his team is counting on him to take some big swings, and he's brought all the smoke tonight. we've seen guys that have been in position and just unable to handle the velocity. So.
And there's Torres with the finish right up the middle as he's able to use those acute instincts and make up for a prior slam dunk at the net. And you love the environment here, Andrew. You know, having this being played at Huntington Beach, the crowd has been fantastic. 5 serving 2. Bismo with a blast. What do you think, and I'll ask you this, Ryan Parker and the job he's done as the head coach for Marina, it's got to be fantastic considering this is his first year as the varsity head coach.
Well, he's been with the program before and kind of had a foothold in Huntington Beach volleyball even before that. Not sure that Liberty Christian is still around, but he was the coach there at one point, helping out with the Marina program. And so he's done a great job. The players all say that they're comfortable with just that continuity, even though they were under a different varsity coach. Parker's been around, and so this group has come of age together.
Daniel Pertel coming of age and doing a great job with that finish there from the left side. The kill for him, another one at 6, serving 4 in this third set as the Vikings look to go out here with the sweep as Dang with the serve taken by Oliver. The center dump, Dang was right there. Nice anticipation, but just was not able to control it cleanly there. And the visitors are within 1.
Bismo to serve at 5, serving 6.
Micah Bismo. Bringing it from the line. Off the tape, Nunez skying it in the air on the first contact. Hit by Patterson. Van Mueller, the first contact, kept alive by Pertel. Dug up by Van Mueller. There's Cole Oliver. Lots of contact around the net, but we play on as Pertel hits it off the top of the block. Van Mueller with the dig. Cole Oliver is scooped up somehow by Dang. Incredible defense. Oliver again. Another try and another missed opportunity. 7-5 Marina.
So I'd like to ask you this as well. As we look at 2 schools with vastly different enrollment, the public school Marina with over 2,000 and Valley Christian at, I believe, less than 500. CIF went to its competitive equity formula not that long ago, and now we're seeing a lot of movement between the divisions. Imagine a team like Marina that's struggled for a long time to even get a foothold in the Sunset Conference, now looking at potentially moving up divisions after a run like this.
What I read, and I encourage everybody to check out Andrew Turner's work online, and you can type in his name. He does great coverage in Orange County. They haven't been in the postseason in Marina since 2002.
That's correct.
Yeah. So it's been a while.
It's astonishing to think about something like that. And I look at sort of the environment going on at Marina. The football program had a breakthrough a couple years ago, and they won a CF title, and it was the first one in the program's history. And then all of a sudden we saw the girls soccer program in the semifinals, and we saw the girls water polo team in the finals, and it just seemed like maybe there was widespread belief throughout the campus at that point. It's like the football program can do it if they can break the curse, so to speak.
Yeah.
Maybe there was just a lot more belief.
Gaining inspiration from others, and they are closing in on their first Southern Section championship ever in boys volleyball. Cole Oliver blocked back. Whitener and Wynn were right there. They'll load up on the double block again, and now Oliver goes inside of that block. Patterson stuffed. Jones was there, number 13 in maroon.
Great block there by Bryce Jones, keeping the defenders in it.
And Jones, also a basketball player, has been, and his first varsity game, he dunked, and he did it via an alley-oop. How about that for an induction into boys varsity high school basketball? That's pretty awesome.
Kieran to serve at 9, serving 6.
Appreciate Andrew Turner there, giving us some perspective.
Thank you so much for having me on.
You bet. Check Andrew's work online as he is here covering this matchup. Patterson from 3 meters out, and he drives it wide. Number 18, Aiden Patterson. Patterson had a team-high 12 kills. Check that, 22 kills in the semifinals against Warren. Had 2 aces in that match. He had the team-high 12 kills, I should say, in the quarterfinals. That was against Pacific Christian. Clausen skies it for Oliver off of Dang, guarding the line. And Oliver will take home the kill, and the Vikings' lead is now shrinking. It's within 1, are the defenders. The senior in Jones loading up from the line. Taken by Patterson. Quick shoot set to Phillips, read nicely by the defenders. And Oliver strikes again. Cole Oliver willing his team back in this third set, has it all tied up at 9. If you're just joining us, the Vikings are up 2 sets to love, but in the first set, Valley Christian had a pair of set points that they could not capitalize on. Dylan Wynn winning that tussle at the net with that short, tight ball right around the top of the tape. Dang will come out. And the libero in Joe Nunez is in, of course, and Michael Torres checking in, number 2 along the front row. Phillips, Torres, and Patterson manning the front row for the Vikings. This is Oliver off of Nunez over on 2. What reflexes? They're going to get Torres on the double contact there. That was the call from Larry Schwartz, R1. Our score is all even at 10. Oliver letting it rip down the line, and after the first contact, it hit the ceiling, took a weird angle down from the ceiling, and it will be an ace. We are in a scenario here where if the ball on one side is hit up off the ceiling, you just continue to play it, and you have to be really good on your feet to know where that ball might go, because it can change angles in a hurry. Oliver at the line, dug up by Nunez. The set goes to Patterson. He is blocked back. Good coverage by Nunez. Back row attack. Executed to perfection. Daniel Pertel. All even at 11 in this third set. This is Patterson from the line, and Clausen will chase it down. A free ball sent over by Cole Oliver. Here is Pertel winding up from the left side. In a frenzy are the defenders. They keep it going, and Sabizma puts that one down successfully somehow, and it's the 2-seeded defenders in front, 12 to 11 in this third set, trying to avoid the sweep in this Ford Division IV Boys Volleyball Southern Section Championship. Ryan Fenley with you as we continue on in this back and forth third set. Jones over the net on 1. It goes wide. Nunez will serve the float serve. Sabizma the first contact. Coming in from the back row was Cole Oliver. That ball went down. It did contact the floor, and so the defenders maintain a lead here. Alex Guastella with his turn from the service line. and misses it long, does Alex Rostella.
On the floor to serve for Marina number 16, Vincent Dang at 13 all.
Vincent Dang serving away, all tied up at 13 in this third set here. Division IV Ford's CIF Southern Section Championship against the 1 seed and the 2 seed. Win with the back set to Patterson. Powers it through that double block of Sabizma and Verhoof. Patterson has been sensational, and that was an attack from beyond the 3-meter line. 14-13, the Vikings back in front. Dang with the float serve, taken by Sabizma, and he shanks it. It's an ace for Vincent Dang, and a smile on his face as he puts his team back in front, 15-13. (15-14), so that would be Newport Harbor. Checking in with other scores going around, and it is Huntington Beach going into a 5th set with Santa Barbara in Division II, so we're keeping an eye on that, but our focus is going in on the Vikings here, who are up 16-14 in the 3rd set. Here goes Pertel from the line, over on 1 after the serve reception from Sabizma. Patterson lets it fly from beyond the 3-meter line, or right around the 3-meter line, and he goes long with that shot as it flutters long. It's a 1-point score, and Vandermeulen will serve away the libero. Open-handed float serve taken in the area 6 position by Dang, and then there's a miss from Pertel as he emerged from the right side with the attack. Back and forth. 3rd set, all even at 16. Vandermeulen the serve to the center back position of Dang. Outside it goes for Patterson. Screenable mode for the defenders, but they can't return the shot as Aiden Patterson filling it up on the outside with a nice perimeter execution of the attack. Nathan Guerink will serve away. The Vikings in front 17-16, up 2 sets to love here. In the Southern Section Championship, Cole Oliver, the antenna was sit, and so Harvey Rodriguez, our down official, is going to award the point to the Vikings. Oliver jumping seemingly off a trampoline there, but could not execute the shot. 2-point lead for the home squad, the 1 seed against the 2 seed. And it's an ace for Nathan Guerink, number 19, as he is embraced by his teammates. The Vikings are 6 points away from winning their first ever Southern Section Division IV Boys Volleyball Championship. Off a triple block. Let's see what the Vikings can do. It's a shot from off the net from Patterson. The jump set goes to Oliver. Set by Jones, and the block was there. Jackson Phillips and Dylan Wynn were right there to answer for the Vikings as they pad on to their lead. It is 20-16 in this 3rd set. Guerink continues this stint from the line, taken by Oliver. He will get it from start to finish. Sent up, popped up in the cross court by Guerink. The shot from Pertel. Outside they go, and Sabizma misfires. Things getting a little bit out of hand, and Valley Christian will try to calm their team down, calling a timeout in this 3rd set. 21-16 following that Valley Christian timeout, and the defenders are up against it, down 2 sets in this Division IV Ford's Southern Section Championship against the Marina High School Vikings. They're playing in their home gym, up 21-16 in the third, looking for the sweep, but Cole Oliver delaying any chances of that happening with a big kill from the left side to remove the Vikings off the service line. And Bryce Jones, number 13 in maroon, will move back to serve. Down by 4. Serves in area 6 to Pertell. Patterson misfires. And the defenders, with that well-timed timeout, have come out of it with a mini 2-0 run here, have trimmed it to 3. 21-18, the Vikings lead. And make it a 4-point lead as Jones short arms the serve at a critical juncture in this match. And now Dylan Wynn, who has 5 aces on the night, 4 of those in the second set alone, has been a nightmare from the service line if you are a Valley Christian defender. And he will let this one rip with a lot of juice on it. Jones, the tight set back over to Guastella. The back set headed towards Patterson. And Patterson not able to convert on the outside. So a side out, which is exactly what the defenders need. Ryan Parker, head coach for Marina, will now call a timeout of his own to talk things over. 22-19. After a Ryan Parker Viking timeout, things continuing to tighten up in this third set, 22-19. Marina High School in front, looking for the sweep, but not if Cole Oliver has anything to say. He is back at the line for the 2-seeded defenders, down by 3 in set number 3. Oliver with a missile of a serve, as that sprays off the platform of a diving Joe Nunez in area 6. Could not handle that rocket. The lead is cut to 2. Valley Christian coming in 16-0 on the season. That is in serious jeopardy, that unblemished mark. What a finish. C. Bisma with the slam dunk, the tap down after some poor ball handling on the Viking side. Trimming it to 1. And the stint continues. From the line for Cole Oliver, bringing it with a lot of juice. Outside they go to Patterson, dug up in the center back position by Oliver. He will attack from the back row and register the kill. What a mini run, a 3-0 spurt, and another timeout called by Ryan Parker. Things are going in the direction of the defenders, 22-22 in the third, as they look to force a 4th set. We're checking in on what is taking place in Division II Southern Section action. Huntington Beach has lost in 5 sets to Santa Barbara. That 5th set 15-9 in favor of Santa Barbara. So Huntington Beach going down in Division II Southern Section Championship play in 5 sets. Another team from Huntington Beach, though, is on the verge of clinching, but they're up against it here a little bit. A 3-0 run for Valley Christian, a timeout called for Ryan Parker, and we continue with Cole Oliver from the service line. Bertel, and he launches for the kill. Bertel showing the elevation. And the Vikings toggle back in front, 23-22. 2 points away from a sweep and their first Southern Section Championship, but just a little jittery from the service line was Aiden Patterson, evening it back up at now 23 apiece. Evan Clausen's turn. Most likely going to see him with the float serve. Sends that over to Patterson. Wynn delivers to Pertel off the block and just punishes that Wynn set. It is set point and it is match point with a chance here for the Marina Vikings to clinch their first ever boys volleyball Southern Section Division IV championship. On the line right here with this Nunez serve. Jones, the delivery to the outside. Good dig by the Vikings, and Pertel puts down the kill, and they can celebrate in 3. A sweep for Marina, as they are your Division IV Ford Southern Section champions. The first time they have done that in school history. Not bad for a program that has not been to the postseason since 2002, and they did it with first-year varsity head coach Ryan Parker, who was a basketball player in high school and has found a love for the game of volleyball, channeling his love and his passion into one of the great turnarounds here for a boys volleyball program in Orange County history. We've got some hardware to hand out. We are going to stick around for some of that, but that is the first loss of the season for Valley Christian. They certainly made it interesting down the stretch. They had a chance to win that first set, had a pair of set points, then tightened things up in set 3. But the resilience was there on the Vikings side, aided by their home crowd, and they've got some new hats that say Ford's Division IV Southern Section champions on them, so they have those to put on their heads, as they have the table out here at center court, and they have some t-shirts and some mementos to give out, and a little bit of a celebration here for the winners here, as representatives from CIF are here to give out, first off, the defenders, the runner-ups, as they are honored here. Just 8 players on the team in an upstart program where a lot of the guys are pretty new to the sport of volleyball and certainly have learned a lot in a short amount of time. They picked up the season in late February and finished the year after this one 16-1. So the runner-up hardware is there, and they will honor all of the defenders here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Valley Christian Defenders.
And now we will turn our attention to the victors.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Division IV CIF Southern Section champions,
Marina Vikings. They've got their hats on. And t-shirts will be distributed as well. Ryan Parker and the job that he has done engineering through this season after an 18-day layoff because of COVID-related matters with a player getting infected with the virus. They come back, have their first match in the postseason, and they win 5 straight after the COVID-19 layoff and have now claimed their first ever Southern Section Boys Volleyball Championship. An incredible feat for this program, and we mentioned the resilience, how battle-tested they had to be to navigate through this season. But they are awarded, and they are the champions. For our great crew, NFHS Network, Andrew Turner, you heard his voice a little bit on the program, giving some perspective on the match. Our producer and Steven Morales. I'm Brian Fenley. It's a winner for the home team. Marina, the Vikings, sweep for their first ever boys volleyball Southern Section Division IV Fords Championship. We'll catch you next time here on NFHS Network.